Hi guys, this is Chrystal Lynn and I am super excited today. Some of you guys have been watching my channel and you know that I have been doing a weekly video response. You can subscribe to my channel, and if you'd like to ask me a question, I am picking out one person out of the hat each week, and I'm doing a 15-minute video response. I kind of have an off-the-cuff style. And so I take a look at what I think is important and bring that out in 15 minutes. You can email me for more information. All my information is below about my other coaching services. But today I have a very exciting opportunity to do somebody very special. And I have been given permission to announce this very special person that I think you guys will all know and love. Just so you know, these video responses can be as confidential as you'd like them to be. I do not have to announce names. It's just for you. You'll know who you are because I'll send you a little special note. But today, I have been given permission to do none other than Alyssa Sharpe. And I absolutely love Alyssa. Alyssa was the first astrology video that I watched. What I hate about Virgos. Of course, I'm a Virgo, but I thought it was just fantastic. In fact, I thought it was so fantastic. I went all over my house to my children, to my husband, to anybody who would watch, and played them her videos, and everybody just loved them. So she really brought a lot of new positive energy into my life. At that time, I was a closet astrologer and really wanted to find an avenue to communicate with others this passion for this beautiful science. And it's such an art, and it's so alive still today. And I think it can really help all of us really take a look at ourselves and work through things and prepare for things in life. And so I'm really excited. And Alyssa, I want to thank you, first of all, because I sent you a little message in the beginning about being in the closet, and you encouraged me to come out, that I'd be ready when I was ready. And we've just developed a kind of behind-the-scenes friendship, and so I really do appreciate that. This opportunity to take a little glance at your chart is so exciting because it confirms to me the connection that I felt towards you when I first saw you. And that's the beautiful thing about astrology, is that we can see things in people that connect to us, that resonate with us. And so today I want to focus on your ascendant and the houses that follow. When I got the opportunity to do your chart, I dreamt about it all weekend, and I kept seeing this life story unfolding throughout the houses. And I think it's really important to make a note that you never want to isolate one house or one planet or one situation to gain understanding of somebody. You have to look at the whole picture and see the whole picture come alive. And when I look at your story, I am just so inspired and so encouraged for you. First of all, we're going to take a look at the fact that you have a Pisces Ascendant. Now, we know that you're a Libra Sun, and we know that you're a Taurus Moon. So keeping that in mind, you also have Libra in Mercury, Mercury in Libra, Virgo and Venus, and Virgo and Mars. So just keeping all of that in mind, we're going to all be going back and forth, playing this story out. I don't know if you realize how special it is to have Pisces in your rising sign or your ascendant. When you were born, in fact, what's interesting is if had you been born 30 minutes prior, you would have been a completely different person. That's how close of a transition you made to being exactly who you were created to be. And I envision, you know, this creative artist behind the scenes planning your life out, giving you everything that you're going to need to fulfill your calling. And you do have a calling. That calling's been placed in your heart from the moment you were born. There's a knowing. When you see Pisces in the ascendant, we talk a lot about, yeah, it's the outer perspective, it's the outer view, it's the outer persona, but it's also a direct link to huge amounts of Neptunian energy. And when we think of Neptune, we think of spirituality, we think of creativity, we think of imagination, we think of vision. You are all of those things. You receive messages. You have spiritual understanding. From a very young girl, you had a very strong knowing in your heart. I want to credit Stephen Forrest. He is an evolutionary astrologist, and he's been a big influence on my life. And he gave me a concept that really made things clear to me, because I also have a lot of Piscean energy. And what he said is people who experience and who embody this Piscean energy, it's as if the veil between us, the reality here on earth, and spiritual things becomes very thin. And we can see through it. We can see into that other dimension. And that other dimension can present itself to us in being able to walk into a room and pick up on things, that pick up on people's emotions. Sometimes we pick up on people's emotions that they don't even know that they have. We're able to get visions for the future. We dream and they mean something. We have the ability to understand things and we don't know how or why, but you have been given an opportunity to look into this world, and I want you to embrace that. When I look at your chart, I glance down at this, the Venus in Virgo and Mars in Virgo. It's as if the universe gave you some grounding along with your Taurus in your moon sign. Those are earth signs. So you're very grounded and you have the ability to be very practical, very analytical, and very organized in your mind. But this Pisces Ascendant's going to keep you in this stirring place all the time. And learning to embrace that and realize you're taking in a lot more than you may even have any idea about. And times when you feel down or tired or you need a break, you need to take that time, because that's the time that you've got to fill yourself back up. When we talk about this Pisces Ascendant, a lot of times you do hear the word isolation. And I think that it's an understanding that somebody with Pisces influence needs to understand that that feeling of being alone sometimes can derive from the fact that you're able to go down to such depth of emotion and feel things so much greater than other people that sometimes it's a kind of a feeling of isolation that nobody can really relate to you. And, you know, that can be true. That can be true. But when we start to look at the rest of your houses play out, we start to see that you have a calling. You have a creative venture ahead of you, a spiritual adventure ahead of you. And so this is going to play out over your lifetime. You know, when we look at even the biblical story of Jesus, you know, he even said, and I'm paraphrasing, that, you know, he was not received in his own town. He had to go abroad to send that message, and that he did. And so we see here that you are going to be called out of your hometown, and you're going to be called to a higher place in life. When we look at Taurus in the second house, we look at the values, the strong family values that you have, That's at the foundation of your life. And that's a very special quality to have. Had you been born 30 minutes prior, you would be a completely different person. That's how unique this is. You would have had an Aries in the second house, but you don't. Because there's something about that childhood, that needing for security, and the values of friendships and family that's so embedded in you. And that's going to be a part, no matter where you've gone in that area of your life, to the depth, the emotions that you have for that, that's going to be a part of the message you share in your future as you create your own family. Security is very important to you. And the exciting thing is the second house is a place that you can make daily money. So anything that's a Venus-ruled occupation, obviously, Venus, you know, you're artistic. You also have the ability to do products, to do makeup, to do jewelry. You know, you could go so many different directions. When we look at Virgo in Venus and in Mars, Mars is your work. I mean, you have such powerful work ethics here. But they're also the ones that are able to build an empire out of a shoebox. And they are the entrepreneurs. And so you have a very strong entrepreneurial spirit. We also see, looking at your chart, Gemini in the 3rd and 4th house. Communication. It's got to go somewhere. You're not going to be able to sit and not do anything with these gifts that are brewing inside of you. It's got to get out. Geminis are the ones that communicate the information. Gemini in the 3rd house, we definitely see the writing ability. Pisces Ascendant, huge writing ability. And that gives you not only that ability to write, but to really, really share from your heart. And people truly resonate with that. So how exciting is this? Now, 4th house Gemini, you know, it's a good thing. Family, busy life, lots of siblings. A lot of times you'll have a mother that you were close to, or a mother that may have been a cheerleader for you, or a manager for you type of personality. Sometimes you see that. So anyway, I want to get to your 5th house. I am so excited for you that your 5th house is in Cancer. The 5th house represents entertainment. It represents the position in life, kind of like the stage we get on. And the fact that you have the moon there actually allows you to express your emotions in a public way. Not everybody can do that. And that is a very unique gift you've been given. It also gives you a love for children. Gives you, you know, you're going to be playing a mentor to many young people. It puts you in that position. It also gives you a heart for home. In those times when life gets crazy and you need to go reboot and you need to hide out for a few days, you know what? Your place, your hiding place will always be your home. You'll create a very special home, a sanctuary for you. And the people that you know love you unconditionally are the ones you're going to be drawn to and will take care of you. So this is a great place. Know the power of this. This also suggests huge creative writing, children's books, romance novels. I mean, you can just do anything. And so this is a very gifted placement. Now we're going to take a look at this Leo in the 6th house. Okay. So 6th house represents work. How you perceive work. Now you take Leo and you put it in the 6th house. Well, Leos rise to the top, guys. Leos are the ones that end up in the managerial positions. The sun is shining. They are the lion. They usually have a pride around them. The hard part about Leo in the 6th house is understanding, and I wish somebody could have told me this when I was 28. The understanding that you're called to always shine in whatever position you move into. The 6th house can represent secret enemies. And what I mean by that is a lot of times the friendships that you so want to connect with and you so want to be a part of your life and a part of your excitement for life and sharing your creativity too, you may feel this constant little tension with those relationships because there is a little bit of a rivalry. And you may have experienced that young in your life that, everybody was kind of eyes on you and they wanted to be you. And you can feel kind of lonely, and you might even have a temptation to bring yourself down a notch so that everybody can be okay. That's a Libra trait. Everybody be okay with you. But what you have to understand, Alyssa, is that you were created and you were given a calling. I just truly believe this, to rise to the top of every situation and to understand that your message is going to go abroad. And sometimes if we get too connected to, taking care of everybody, we can lose sight of what we're supposed to go do. And so just understand that this was designed for you to continue to move into the positions that you need to move into. Okay, I'm going to try to move down now to Virgo in the second house. This is your partnership house. This is your relationships. And so you may have a desire to do entrepreneurial businesses with your partner. You might like creating little businesses at home with your friends, different things like that. And again, just keeping in mind behind you that sixth house in Leo, that they're only going to be able to go so far. You'll always have to take the top position. And those people around you that can support you in that are the ones that will be your assistants, basically, and being okay with that. So this is just something you're going to have to work through, but it's important. It's an important part of who you are. Okay, this is the exciting house. I want to talk about the 8th house. Now, typically, if your alignment of houses were in order, you would be having Libra in the 8th house. But no, you got skipped right into Scorpio. Scorpio in the 8th house. This is a very strong placement because it's in its native land. And this is also going to give you an intense, in-depth, intuitive ability to not only, in Pisces, we're able to read the emotions of others, but with Scorpio, you're able to read the intentions of people. And I just feel like this is a good place, a good thing of protection for you, that you're able to kind of, see the realities of what's going on. Having Scorpio in your 8th house is super important. And I think that this also makes you a Scorpio magnet. So, you understand Scorpios, and Scorpios love you. Also, you may see an inheritance. You may see an inheritance about 30 to 32. And just some good things can happen. This is, anytime you see Scorpio, you can see turbulence in your life. But any good writer writes from the depth of their experiences. So embracing your experiences, not blaming anybody for your experiences, realizing they're your own and you're going to do something amazing with them. Okay, we also see, I'm going to go a little quicker now because I know time's ticking, I'm a little over, but we also see Sagittarius in the 9th house and 10th house. This is higher learning, and this also creates in you a preacher. You are a preacher. And you have a message going back to the 1st house in Pisces. You have a spiritual message. It's your own message, though. It's your own messages that is developing. It's developing over time. And you will continue to learn. And everything that you're doing is an accumulation of your experiences and understanding spiritual things. You have to trust that you're on the right track. And this message is going to be developed over time. You're in this process right now, so you may see yourself going back to school about 40, 44 in that period for higher learning. And fame and honors in the 10th house. It's in Sagittarius. You're going all over the place, girl. Your message is to go abroad. Okay? Now, real quick, looking at Capricorn in the 11th house. I love this for you. Again, this is its native land. And this will draw you to mentors. This will draw you to people, wise people that will be teaching you. Be very open to the different mentors that come in your life. This also creates in us a humility of our fame and honor, so to speak. You know, this is the person that, you know, can drive a beat up old truck down the road and have $1 million in the bank. It's a real comfortability in yourself. And Capricorns are the oak trees. So you'll have a lot of oak trees in your life. Look for those. This is a desire for wise people. So remember, it's not about giving yourself to everybody. It's about selectively choosing the people in your life that are supporting what you've been given, what you're created to do, what your calling is. This also may suggest good money later. So you'll struggle a little bit here and there working on entrepreneurial businesses, but a little later in life, you're really going to see all your artistic ability come together. And with Aquarius in the 12th house, broadcasting, and import, export businesses, technology, your products, whatever they become, whether they're books, whether they're, you know, you can do anything. You're so gifted. I would dabble in it all. Try it all. You know, people may not realize this about you, and I do because I'm looking at your chart right now. With Venus and Mars in Virgo, that kind of creates in us this a little bit of shyness or afraid of criticism. And we're conservative. We don't mind being behind the scenes. But this Cancer in the 5th house is putting you out there. It's putting you out there, along with some other things going on. And I just want to compliment you for how brave you are. How brave you are to follow these passions of your heart, because this isn't easy for you in some ways, and you're doing an amazing job. I'd love to do a little bit more on your generational planets, but that might have to be a part 2. I just can't get all this in one video. So if you'd like me to do your generational planets, I'd love to do them. I'd be happy to do a part 2 on this. You know, you are just set up. You are in your first Saturn right now, and you're right on track, having your first baby, getting married, and completely radically changing your life. So this is an exciting part. It may feel like, you know, you're asked to go up to a cliff and jump off. And you know what? Jump. The universe will support you. There is a lot of support behind the scenes for you. You were created to do something very special. And I just hope this video helps you to confidently embrace your gifts even more. Okay, so hopefully I'll see you for part 2 of generationals, because I'd love to do it. Bye now.